In part 1 we prepared the wood to be a surfboard. I glued a lot of planks together, spent a lot of hours sawing and using the router. I cut out the outline and made a rough shape of the board. The rough shape is done, so I can take the board apart again and start hollowing out each piece. Each piece of wood is still solid, so I have to remove some weight to make it a lighter board. I'm drilling holes with a Forstner bit and then connecting the holes with my jigsaw. I'm gluing these 3 rail pieces together already because the middle balsa piece is very fragile. I'm making sure to leave some wood in the places where the fin boxes will go, so the fin boxes will have some wood to adhere to. Then I can continue with the hollowing out of each piece. I decided that I can remove some more braces. All the braces with an X on it are gonna be removed. I saved almost 80 grams. Almost 4 kilos for 1/2 of the board. That's gonna be a very heavy board. I trimmed a little bit extra to save some more weight. 1/2 of the board now completely hollowed out. Taking the other half apart and I'm putting it aside until the weather is better. A few days later I had the time to remove all the excess weight. All the pieces have now been on their weight loss journey and they're ready for the next step. René came over to show me how to glue all the pieces together. We are doing about 5 at a time. We used the polyurethane glue that expands a little bit. We clamped all the pieces of wood together with the leveler bar to make sure the base is perfectly straight. The glue needs 4 hours to dry, so after a few hours I removed all the clamps and glued some more pieces of wood together. I have to drill the leash plug hole in the separate pieces of wood. That's why these two pieces of wood are clamped together separately. I'm using a vented leash plug from Greenlight Surf Supply. I'm making sure that all the chambers have access to this leash plug, so every chamber can vent when it's needed. Now that the leash plug hole is drilled, I can glue the rest of the board together. Now the glue is dried, it's time for me to hold the board at one piece for the first time. It looks and feels very solid though. It's time to get rid of all the glue residue. My old sander died, so I had to improvise with the drill a little bit. I didn't shape the rails of the board before the gluing process. It's time to make it look nice, smooth and round. I'm sawing the fishtail to shape. That's always one of the most aesthetically pleasing parts of making a surfboard. Unfortunately, I sawed a little bit too much, so now you can see inside the board. But there's nothing we can't fix. It's starting to feel like a real surfboard now. It's time to fill up the freshly made holes with some leftover wood. This repair turned out better than I could have imagined. I've bought a new sander so I can sand the board one last time before glassing it. I'm saving the sawdust to do some patching later on. One of the last steps before glassing is routing the fin box holes. I use my shaper square to measure the placement of the fins. I use the template that Renee built for me to line up the router. lot of holes in the board because of old screws and nails and stuff. So I have to fill all those holes with some epoxy, sawdust and microballoons. All the excess material is sanded away. And we are left with a smooth finish. It's time to put in the lease plug before glassing. I use this strange epoxy material that comes with the Green Light Surf Supply kit. I sand the leash plug and the excess epoxy material flush with the board. I pour in some epoxy mixed with sawdust to make it all smooth. I'm writing down the board's dimensions before glassing. I've prepared the board for the first fiberglass layer on the bottom. I choose to glass the board because it gives it a little bit more strength and it keeps the boards together if the glue fails for some reason. And it makes the wooden structure watertight. After a few hours, the epoxy curing process is on its way and it's time to cut the fiberglass. I turn the board around and let the epoxy cure for another 24 hours or more. I sand the edges and I prepare the board for fiberglassing the deck. The end of this very big project is in sight. It's just a few times sanding and applying a hot coat. I clean the board with hot water and ammonia. I'm removing all the loose hairs from the brush by touching it against the tape. I'm removing the tape after about 4 hours of curing. I'm preparing the deck for its hot coat. And I'm putting the last epoxy layer on this board. I have to sand the whole board one more time, starting with 400 grit and working my way up to 2000 grit. I'm wiping away the last water drops from the wet sanding process, and I think this board is finished. The board is very heavy with 7.5 kilos, but it looks so pretty. I hope with its weight it's surfable, but we'll have to find out when the swell is coming.
Oh! Dat is echt terug, man. Hij is af.
So now it's confirmed, the board's finished. I hope you guys enjoyed this project. I did very much. We saved some wood from the junkyard and made a nice board out of it. So that's a win. This project took way longer than I expected. I only discovered how long it took me to build this thing when I was editing all the footage. It was a lot. I hope I can make a video soon about the first surf session and discover how this thing moves in the water. I'm a little bit afraid that this board will only be a decoration piece, but it has to prove me wrong. If you have any questions about this video, you can always hit me up in the comments. Thanks for watching!